Call the meeting to order. We'll do roll call to start with. Brent is absent. Jeff is absent at the moment. Larry?
Here.
Jennifer?
Present.
Brian?
Here.
Dan?
Here.
And Janice. I'm here also. Let's begin by looking at the minutes for last month. Jennifer, would you like me to read them to you? I can take a picture and send it to you.
Yeah, that'll work if you want to text it maybe,
Okay.
or have Chip text it maybe.
I can
You
do
might
it. I
have-
can do it. Oh, I got you. The minutes, you said?
Okay.
I have a clarification. Is it Hugger or is it Huggy?
I think it was supposed to be Huggy, but Alex also accepts Hugger. That can be his nickname.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was supposed to be Huggy too, but, you know, I think there was discussion on maybe in the future changing his name, so,
I didn't know if we want to, never mind, bring it up later.
okay.
Squirrel.
Let's get
Squirrel.
through this and then we'll, it looks like Jeff kind of dropped off. If you go to the recap of the first Friday activities.
Yeah, but
at the-
will.
Yeah, but will, and he stopped.
...
I assume that means that we will participate in the last
First Friday.
first
Yes.
Friday
Yes.
of 2025.
I think with that, finishing Jeff's sentence,
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Yep. Okay. So, let's move to old business. Financial update?
$35,963.88.
Hi, Jeff.
35.9. What was it, 35.9?
35,963.88.
Okay, thank you.
Parking
Hi.
must have been a bad.
I believe that parking's a bit of a challenge.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Opening night
is.
for the old center.
Well, Jeff, we just kind of got started.
Okay,
Jennifer's on the phone,
okay.
and Brent's not here this evening. You are here now, so. And we approved the minutes with
For
Brian.
May?
Yeah, the May
Okay.
minutes. We approved those with one correction.
Okay. Hang on.
Give you a second to catch up.
Okay.
Our correction was, in the recap of the first Fridays, the bottom line, we will not participate in the midsummer events,
Oh.
but we
Oh, but
will
will.
the last
Oh.
first Friday of
You
2025.
put a cliffhanger in there.
Left us hanging.
Awesome. I'll send that off to Ashley tomorrow.
Okay. And then Chip updated us on the financial update. It's
Okay.
$35,963.88.
35,900 and,
Unencumbered, so that would be the correct, right? Or we have unexpended balance. I need to learn these. We have.
Well, I still haven't planted the trees, so see, that money has been spent, but it's not been.
Okay, so
I
then
have
we,
not
we
billed
could
that
have,
yet.
I have another number here of $41,642.
And that's that money sitting for
That-
Daniel Landscape Design to plant
Okay,
those
and
trees.
so with yours, then that's our 35.
Correct.
Yes,
And,
thank you.
and that will not be billed until the
So,
trees get planted.
yeah.
So that's why that
Okay.
6,000 is sitting, or 5,000 or
Yep.
somewhere,
Thank you.
whatever you.
I,
That's,
sometimes
yeah, that's somewhere
I
where we're at
understand, but
with
I
that.
don't understand sometimes, so,
So the
thank you.
arborist has been paid.
I believe so,
That's
yes.
what I was gonna ask too, is has our
Yes.
arborist,
I haven't heard anything from him, so I assume he has.
okay, okay. He's one of those we probably ought to reach out and make sure he's paid. And either, Larry, if you
I-
wanna do that.
Sure.
Why don't you reach out, just make sure he's been paid?
All right.
He is so gracious that
Yes.
I don't think would say anything.
What did he finally, what was his final invoice?
Every time I pick up my phone, I think that my person's geared blowing out, so I don't wanna.
I have it, but I don't know if I can pull it up this fast.
I can look if you want to continue on.
Okay,
2,300 for Seth.
23.
Yep.
Thank you.
Um, so from last month, you'll notice, there was more. Well, we paid Seth, and then we also bought those books for Little Turtle. So those were
And
two.
shirts.
And shirts, yep. And Jennifer, if you still want a shirt, you just need to go into running around screen printing and get one.
Okay.
Oh, I do too.
And you do too, Larry, you don't have one either?
Funny enough, I think I've been in there twice and forgot about
Yeah.
why I need these there.
Well, one is paid for from our budget, but if you want anything else, sweatshirt or any other sort of attire, that you have to pay for yourself,
Okay.
so. Oops, what am I doing? Okay, let's go to revisit the new building ordinance. We can't do anything with that because Brent's not here again. So there again, we're just tabling that till he returns. Update on funeral memorials. I'll be honest, I have not gotten to the funeral homes to discuss with them. Jeff sent a really nice
Yeah.
idea. I really like that.
Oh, yeah, with the little.
with the rock.
Yeah.
rock, yeah,
Now-
I mean, you can just move it out, sort of thing as the tree grows.
Just the biggest thing is, we do things like that, I'm afraid they're gonna get stolen. It's really cool, I think it's a great idea.
Mhm.
It's just, like when we did stuff at Okie Alley, people came in, they busted pots. It's like, why do you do that? Well, I'm afraid the rocks will get stolen. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
And if it was a homeowner, or if it was at a church, or maybe we could do it, but, we're city trees, putting them along the streets and the sidewalks, and I'm afraid that,
Yeah.
great idea, however, I don't think it's,
We could also maybe put them along.
However, speaking in favor of our community and how trustworthy it is, I walk across the lawn by the courthouse, and there's a blanket there with 3 purses lying on the picnic blanket, and nobody around. I'm like,
There was.
wow.
There
Until
was.
you came by.
Until I came by. I know.
That was one of those prank
I was like,
calls.
oh, this would just be too easy.
yeah.
Back to the funeral memorial, one thing we need to consider, kind of figure out, if the tree's planted and 5 years later, the tree dies, are we gonna replace it? I ran a program like this, big
Uh-huh.
time. Or the stone is stolen. We gotta provide a new stone. These things are not cheap.
I like the stone idea, but like I agree that I'm not so worried like people like stealing it out of like mouths. I'm thinking more like kind of like you described it as like I want to say like the kids being dumb kids and like, oh, I'm going to steal the stone because it has a silly name on it, you know. And I think if the tree did die, I think I wouldn't be opposed to like replanting one there, just because we're like, okay, we're treating this as a spot we filled. Like, what would we do if a tree died, you know, somewhere else? I don't think necessarily. I mean, you know, if we like, you know, we kind of get down to the end of the year. Sometimes we have, I don't say trees that need planted. Okay, well, hey, here's a home for one. We had a tree that died, and like, let's just replace it if we've got something left at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Well,
That's-
and always we have a need for places to put trees, right?
Right, right. And I guess I'm in the same, like if they specifically buy a red horse chestnut tree
Yeah.
and it dies, I think, which is a high dollar tree, I think then we can't necessarily replace it with that kind of a high dollar
Yeah.
tree. That's my feeling about that. But I do think we could replace it with a tree.
Well, and I saw the marker, and I thought it was interesting, just to kind of
Oh no,
contribute to the conversation. No, but I think what we were saying earlier was, that it might be worded somewhere along the way, saying, if you'd be interested in making a memorial gift toward the planting of trees in our community, you know, then we don't have to worry about what happens if the tree dies, what if the marker disappears, you know,
Sure.
whatever.
If they wanted one specifically for them, we could give them a GPS coordinate.
Oh, yeah, we could
to
say,
just- So they know
Oh,
right
that's a
exactly
fun
where it's
idea.
at.
yeah,
Yeah, that is a fun idea to,
yeah.
Then they know where it's at.
kind of like a star. you know,
Right,
Kind
yeah.
of thing.
Yeah, and if they want to put a marker there of some, you know,
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we could let them do
I'll
that.
let them do that.
yeah, let them do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The other-
Well,
the
I'm
other-
still on that mission, and I just haven't, the last 2 months, gotten there, so.
Are you acting like it's spring and you have things
Yeah,
to do?
something,
Oh,
something, I know,
Priorities,
priorities.
us.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, The other caveat to that, the whole concept is record keeping. If you don't keep records of where that tree's planted, like GPS coordinates are great. The family comes back, I'm amazed at how grandkids come back and say, hey, planted a tree for my grandpa, where is it?
Yeah,
I planted hundreds of those trees.
yeah,
I don't remember. So keeping a record of that, and it could be done in Tree Keeper.
That's what I was going to ask. Is
Okay.
tree keeping a functionality? Like,
Sure.
is there a way like to denote like
Yes.
a flag? Like we could like put a flag on it. Like this is one of the funeral trees. This is for who it's for.
Yep. Pick out a certain icon, and that's a memorial tree.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
yeah. Well, now we just have to get that figured out.
Now, it did say here,
Maybe just an Excel spreadsheet or something with like the name associated with that GPS coordinate?
That's what it turns into. In
Okay.
In Tree Keeper 8, it's denoted by a symbol, and then you can search all 2,500 of our trees for that symbol, and only the trees with that symbol shows up and converts it to an Excel spreadsheet.
So, Jennifer, I have here in the minutes from May that you were going to work on a brochure for that.
Yes, and I will bring that to our next meeting.
Okay, great. Great, well, in the meantime, I will try to go to the funeral homes and see if they have anything that they, you know, if they're still open to that idea, if there's anything they need from us before we get this all put in place, or, and then we'll see if we can't get that finalized and start getting that to happen.
Sounds good.
Okay, new business. I don't have anything else on old business. Anybody have anything
I have
more?
one thing.
Okay.
Since I missed the meeting on the discussion of the trees at JLS, I know that we said no trees will be planted to replace those. Why?
Because we were trying to determine like, I think it ended up kind of being like a spacing issue, because really because there was 3 there, it's like we could plant 2 in between, but is that gonna give the same, it's not gonna
It
give
doesn't
the
appear to have enough space with
So
roots
we
and issues.
said for now, we're not gonna do anything, we may revisit it in the future, but, and plus, like, what I think kind of the other thought was the fellow that owns it, like, he won't own it forever.
I disagree. I'm sorry. I don't see why he should be allowed to have those trees cut down, 3 absolutely gorgeous elm trees, cut down, and then no consequences. We don't force him to pay anything, not even the labor, for cutting those trees down, and we don't replant a tree. That, to me, is wrong.
Well,
There's
at-
certainly room for 2 in between each one of those.
and that's one, I think we kind of learned our lesson on that one. Because now we have a policy in place.
Right.
I think he was open, Chip, if I'm wrong, he's open to us planting something else. I think at this time, we weren't going to plant because we have other spaces, other spots that we want to plant the trees that are sitting, that were bought last year, that we want to get those planted.
Many spaces.
Many spaces. And so I think it can go back on, this is my opinion, I think it can go back on our, hey, we want to plant trees back there again. We're not going to be in a hurry to immediately go back there, plant trees. I think that's kind of how we feel at the moment about that whole
Yeah.
situation.
I think too, we heard from Chip, and, I mean, there are people who repeatedly contact him, and, just over and over and over again, and we didn't have a policy, as to how, so it's kind of, left to him, or it puts the pressure on him. And we really felt, we need a policy, and we need to make sure that it doesn't fall on Chip to make a call.
Yeah,
It
they're
should-
gonna have to
It
come.
should be the church board, it should be the
Church
church board.
board.
Wrong board. I'm not even on a church board these days. Anyhow, it should fall on the tree board to make that decision, so.
And so that's why, and I don't think we're saying, no, we're never, ever gonna plant trees back there again.
Right.
I would say we may plant trees there come fall.
Yeah.
Again, it was we had to make a decision, right now, we don't wanna plant trees there. We wanna plant trees at places that, one, maybe people want them, and 2,
Yeah.
we wanna do that.
So, still, we cut down 3 12-inch elm trees.
Absolutely.
And he faces no consequences.
How do you have to have a law, an ordinance? We have nothing.
And
So do we
it's-
now?
No.
Well, no, and I mean, and plus too, it was like to be fair, he did request that, he wasn't like he went out with a chainsaw in the middle of the night.
I mean, we have it.
It's like,
It is, honestly, we are not, I know you're not gonna believe this, Larry, but general consensus, we are not a tree-friendly city.
I know.
I get a call, I'm gonna go, every, what's the cherry ones, why can't I think of them, on Main Street?
Oh,
Choke
Choke
cherries.
cherries.
Every one, I've had to stop somebody.
they don't want them to cut down.
Yeah, nobody wants them. And so you walk a fine line where the government's not loved in this society. And so,
make them love us.
Tough love.
That's what Huggy the Tree is for.
That's why we need.
I had a resident because I had I trimmed, I had every resident on North Park Street called me. Somebody wrangled them together that they wanted all those cut.
I did a little experiment myself, and I did drive over there. I do agree, depending on the type of vehicle, especially if you're driving, I could see how turning right off Park Street, it is difficult to see, or
I got
turning
him.
left and the right, turning
I
left.
got them trimmed up. I think, okay, was that prior to my trim up
That was
or no?
I think it was the day, I think it was like the day of or the day
Okay.
after, so you probably had not trimmed them yet.
And then I had another very irate one on Main Street further south. That was, he had the chainsaw out and I did stop him. So I said they're probably gonna come down at some point because they have the disease, but
Oh, was that the really bad one, the big one that's so bad?
no.
Oh.
Every one of them has it.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I've trimmed, I'll say 60% of them up off of the ground. I've got like
Oh,
3 or 4
the
more.
cherry or the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's choke cherry.
Yeah, I was gonna ask who did that, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it's very, I'll say this, I've got 3 right here that, I mean, it's daily.
Daily.
Not daily, but every other. I want my tree cut.
So I mean, that's
Or
why,
I'm-
at
And
this
then-
point,
and
we're
it's-
just kind of,
and if we,
move on.
I'll say this, I can think of 4 that have been killed within the past 4 years that I said, no, we're not cutting your tree down, it's healthy.
And they ended up dead.
And that beautiful one over on Oak or Elm, right across from the old Parkview, it was killed within 6 months. So it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know how you can prosecute that.
I
'cause-
do understand the thought process of the community. There's a large percentage that don't
Mhm.
want a tree,
Yeah,
but that should not deter us from providing this city with trees. It's a hard sell. It's probably an impossible sell in this town to create an ordinance that says every 40 feet along city streets that have a right-of-way will have a tree. It does not matter. That's the law.
Yeah,
That is, those people own their homes for 30 years. How long does a tree live? Lives 100 years. So it's gonna have multiple people living in that spot. One person, one family shouldn't decide for the next 2 generations that they don't want a tree in there.
but that one family that's alive right now is very boisterous, and that's what we're getting a lot of. We're not, I'll say this, the tree lovers do not call me, they're the quiet majority, if you want to call it, or minority. It's the anti-tree people that call me, and,
Of course, yeah.
I mean, we had to cut 2 down on South Line, and that guy was livid. That was one of the first ones, but
Is he the one, he's ones that I'm supposed to replace?
in your head, yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
No rush. He threatened to actually kill me, so yeah, no rush.
Oh, my.
oh,
But if you need a good helping of hugs and
Do I-
everything,
where could I get
we'll
one?
we'll put the outfit on you.
Yeah,
and
Thank
it's-
you.
Oh,
He and
yeah.
Huggy.
Thank
That'll
you.
be-
But yeah, I would love, let me look at an ordinance, let me look and see what other communities have
Yeah.
Yeah.
and see, but it's an uphill battle. I mean, I fully agree with you that, yeah, we should, but I'm the one out in the public's eye.
Yes.
I'll give them your name and
That,
number.
yes.
Now, you said you have a couple now. Have you let them know to present something to us?
I have
That-
not.
I was gonna
I've
say,
just kind
that's
of-
what the
'cause it's
new
not
business
even-
is.
It's not on our radar right now to even, there's 25 other things, 30 other things more important than their tree right now. And you get ones, my sewer's plugged because of my tree. Cutting it down is not gonna stop that because the roots will still grow for a few years, so but you get that. Oh, there's one on my roof, and now insurance is saying that you can't have any over your roof, so people are wanting to cut down because it's over the roof. And
Really?
Mhm.
Insurance is saying, whoa.
Yeah. So it's very, very, I mean, they call the city because they want it free. And Brent, I know Brent just dealt with one today because he called me, he was like, have you dealt with the guy? I was like, yeah, we all, I mean, they tried saying there's power lines, everything. And so he's gonna trim. But we were like, we're not cutting them, they're fine. I mean, I'll go into Tree Keeper most of the time, and if it says poor, it still looks pretty good visually. So a poor one doesn't, I don't feel like triggers that it needs to be cut.
Which, there again, we get back to, I guess I'm glad we have Seth. I'm glad you guys went out. I'm glad, you know, you've updated Tree Keeper. We're on top of that. So we know, so that helps you
Yeah, yeah.
know what's
Because
going on.
I'll look at it even before I go out, and there's nothing, it says healthy or whatever, you know, Tree Keeper says, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't say daily, it's been
Weekly.
I think
weekly, yeah.
we talked it through.
Yeah.
I just have to voice my opinion.
No, I agree, I agree.
Yeah. And I think we all kind of,
Yeah. What about the stumps?
There, I don't know, right now we're in, it's funny, I'm not gonna tell you guys, I shouldn't tell you guys this. The stump grinder, we had a huge stump grinder, it got a crack through it, supposedly could not be welded. So we went to Kubota, bought a new stump grinder, it is reversed, so it throws the chips towards the house or wherever, because normally we come in off the street. And so, but then the motor went out on it. So we are still waiting for Kubota. I think we have maybe 8 or 10 stumps left to grind up, and that's another heated argument, but I'm like, all of a sudden, electric department got busy, so I don't wanna sit there. You just sit there and just move that thing back and forth, and
Yeah.
I don't have the patience, but yeah, we're gonna get the stumps, but that's the other thing is, now the electric department, I kinda got on them about, you know, that it was my fault, but you assisted me with it, you were accomplice. So they're like, do we not grind the stumps?
So the electric company cuts them down and grinds? the
And
stump?
grinds and
Oh,
redoes the yard, yep, all the way.
okay. Well, my devious, my vengeful mind for JLS says, hey, you want them cut down, there's stumps there, they'll sit there for.
Yeah, that's kind of what, and it's, we're in this power struggle because now the electric department, it's up and it's great weather, so let's get out and do work. We don't want to go back and do, you know, tedious work. And so. the
winter
super-
work, that's winter work.
Yeah, superintendent's like, they're staying until winter, so we're in a weird power struggle, but I said, we've got like 3 that we really need ground out. JLS is not those 3, but, yeah. It's a lot of lobbying.
I'm sorry, Joe.
It's all, it honestly makes the job fun. Sometimes you go home and you're like, head hurts, but then you're like, I got paid to do that today. I can't make that up.
Right?
Okay, anything else in old business before we move to new business? Chip, you
Nope,
started
I got
something?
new business.
Oh, you got new business?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's go to the first line item, or the only line item I have, and that's tree requests. And you said you don't have anybody right now,
Nothing
so.
right now. Nothing that I'm bringing to you guys right now.
Okay.
Yes.
So now you're, okay, go.
Eagle Park, I don't know if anybody saw Eagle Park. It was a happy accident. I 99% thought I cut the budget for landscaping, and it got landscaped.
I did see
I
that
saw it
Wednesday.
too.
I didn't get a chance to yell at you. I saw you putting out the trash bins or whatever. And I was like, I think it's Jim. But then but you were on the wrong side of your car as I went by, so I couldn't stop it.
Yeah, so
I
I don't
saw
know
that.
what we want to do, if we want to address that come fall time on what to do, because right now I'm petrified. I keep on thinking we're going to get rain, and we're not getting rain.
And we have no gator
So-
bags?
What,
I do have gator bags. Should I put them out now, even if we do get rain?
what did they plant there? I mean, not just grass, they planted.
No, there's some trees.
Shrubs, other.
I don't know that there's shrubs, it was just trees, wasn't there?
Trees.
Roses,
There's
Okay.
roses,
shrubs,
there's,
Oh,
Up
yeah.
around
some grasses.
that bench swing.
I know there's one,
Yeah,
there's a
I do remember
catalpa,
seeing those.
there's, I don't know my trees, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Could we get the
I've seen 'em, but I
plan
don't.
from the park, I mean, I can call Matt.
He does not have it. You
Doesn't
gotta
have a
talk to me.
plan?
No, I do.
Well, you have,
Yeah. I do every project, Larry.
because then I could,
I don't know if that's what they planted though. So I'll have to see.
Yeah.
I'll get a list of what they planted
Okay.
and where.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now, right now it's real easy to identify them, so, you know.
I do know there's Catalpa. It was a landscape architect, so it was random stuff, not.
I drove by and saw all of it, and I was like, huh, I
know.
thought we were
I
gonna
still
plant
want
trees
you.
here.
I still want you planting some trees at the pickleball courts when you get time, but.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they planted some evergreens there and
The road, what is it, North
streets.
Street, where we put new parking spots
Mhm, yes.
all the way along there. My suggestion would be that we put a row of trees all the way along that parking area.
Shaded.
So that the people that park don't go back to a car that is
Yeah.
boiling, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised today, random story, but I pulled down there. I saw people having a picnic. I saw a person napping under a tree,
Yep.
kids playing, pickleball playing. I was like, oh,
Yep, I saw it today too, because we were working back there late this afternoon. And I was like, huh, they're having a picnic sitting on the straw.
yeah, I would not do that. No, this was not on the straw, but I was
Oh, they were
like,
sitting on the straw having a picnic. I was like, oh,
it'd be a little prickly.
oh.
It's really great. I observed the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Kids
There's
kids
people down
out there
There's
of
always
all
somebody,
ages
yeah.
using the
Skate
course itself. I mean, of all
I
ages.
don't think I've seen it empty like once since
Yeah.
they opened it.
Yeah,
And then
so
there's
that's pretty
people,
neat.
like you said, that's sitting in the swing, looking out, there's old people walking around, it's really wonderful.
Yeah. Other thing I was just thinking about it, Hugger or Huggy, whatever. Should we get a shirt for Huggy so they know that he is a tree board?
I wonder
I
about just even a name tag on them or
Okay.
something. Because I don't want to put another layer on
Yeah.
that outfit, but we could make up a name tag.
Oh, I think, yeah, a great big name of Huggy, Hugger.
Just Huggy, yeah, people would get the idea.
Okay. I've got them. I'll figure something out.
Just hug. Yeah.
Jennifer, do you want to go into our other issue that we have?
Sure. So this is more of like a constituent type issue, and I don't know that we really have anything that we can do about it, but I want to bring it up just because it also kind of goes along with what Chip was talking about tree attitudes. And there's a homeowner in Eagle Glen who has a really nice, apparently healthy-looking elm tree in their yard. I'm right about that so far, right, Chip?
I don't know if it's an ash or an elm, but I'm not going to correct you. It's one of the two.
Okay.
One that should be dead.
Yeah, and they got it treated and have been continuing to get it treated to
So
take
it's an
care
ash.
of it. I think they have like maybe 3 of this tree in their yard, but the one is particular contention with the neighbor who wants to cut it down or cut off whatever of that tree is over the line, which is really not that much, but I think it would kind of diminish the integrity of the tree. So I'm bringing it up here. I don't know if we have any authority to say, no, you can't do that to the neighbor's tree, but
Well, is it it's not, is it a street tree?
No.
Then we have no authority.
He wanted it designated, which I don't even know what that means. I don't know. I told Jennifer, we were texting about earlier, I don't know if I could reach out to DNR since it is, they put so much money invested in it. If the DNR could designate it as a special tree or not, I don't know.
But if it's over the property line, the property owner has all rights to trim it at the property line.
Yeah,
Any way they want to.
No matter, it doesn't matter what kind of tree or anything, I don't think, unless it's an endangered tree, I would assume.
yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that affects us at all.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
we could have those scenarios though, down the road.
Yeah,
Where's it at in East Glen?
I'll get you
I
the
can
address.
actually forward a picture or Chip can.
Yeah. I'll give it to you after.
I was just curious where it's
It's,
at.
when you pull in, you go right, and it's where you don't go back to the new section, you stay in that first. It's
That
like
first.
down in that lower area.
Dan's right, though, if the tree's on my property and it goes over the property line, my neighbor has every right, every legal right to go to that line and cut everything off.
Yeah, it's sad, I mean, because they've invested per his, I mean, I've had conversations and mayor's had conversations, Jennifer's, they've invested for years into the tree, and now it's gonna be unsightly. But we've got one tree lover, one tree lover, so it's,
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's probably not even that big of a deal.
yeah.
Hopefully it'd be lovely to the side that the tree
Gator
lover
bags?
likes and ugly
Gator bags.
To the other side, yeah.
that's-
Well, I guess I would hope that it gets trimmed nicely.
No.
Like, you know, and I don't know how you do that, but other than,
Not electric department trim, where it's
yeah.
just straight.
Like, and if the neighbor is angry or that he's going to just hack the thing, and that's a shame. Like, somehow I wish you could like, go, okay, we'll come in there, we'll, you know.
Can I know this is silly, I know I'm asking something from two people that are kind of being irrational with each other, like, just be like, look, you like the tree, you don't like the tree, you have a problem with it. Call a tree company to have them like trim it nicely and just split the bill between yourselves. You get the tree trimmed, this way it doesn't get, you know,
Yeah,
hack
ruined.
job.
Uh-huh.
And everyone can be, I guess, kind of happy.
Can we have, as a tree board,
Tree board
to
meeting.
present, can we have Seth go look at it as far as a trimming, just to offer a secondary, non,
Yeah, because how
I
is
don't know.
this, I just curious, how is this city involved?
He reached out to the mayor and then just says,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I think we want to keep private property private. I don't
yeah,
think we want
100%
to.
Yeah,
do
that's
not want to
true.
get
Yeah.
involved from like a
You're right.
perspective of the city, like, other than being like,
That's-
have you tried working your differences out?
Yeah, it's,
Basically, we'd have to pay some, we should pay.
Oh,
some.
yeah.
And his fee to come down should be $100 to $200.
And the trees
So
doesn't
it's-
belong to
and it's
us.
not our tree.
So
It's
I
not
just
our
don't think,
Yeah.
there is anything, it's too bad, but I just don't think there's anything we can do to try and
yeah.
help them, other than say, hey, be neighbors, be nice.
Now, we can send Brian
Yeah.
out there.
That's
Oh, yeah,
right,
there we go.
play nice.
conflict management.
Look, we'll get the Huggy the Tree costume and a bat, and we'll go out there and be like, I'm gonna talk about trees today, everyone.
And you can throw some oil on the ground before you go.
I like that plan. I like it.
Okay. Anybody have anything else tonight?
I do not.
No.
Yes, I do. This is for Chip. There's these are all dead, but there's one on here at Chauncey, 216 Chauncey. You know that great big house right on the corner? And it's down from Smith's Funeral Home.
That,
That big
Yeah.
thing
Spruce
sitting
stump.
out there, that's a street tree.
I know, but I don't know how we,
Do you have a backhoe?
I don't think I'll lift it.
Is that that spruce tree that's
My
down on the
backhoe
corner?
won't, my backhoe won't, it's
You
too
won't
big,
do it
it's
either?
too big, that root ball
Maybe
is
you
too
need an
big.
excavator or something. That would be the easiest if we could, you have a payloader.
Well, let me look into it. Let me
Yeah,
look
I
into
A
just-
it.
payloader would scoop it out of there,
Well, I
but,
was thinking of, you chain it and pull. And I don't know how well the thing is rooted in there, but if it would come out of there, I don't know either. But I just thought, I was doing some survey work and I walked past and the guy and his wife were out and I talked to him. I said, oh, hey, got some nice trees here, but what's stump out there? Yeah. It's been there ever since we moved in. We don't know what to do about it. I said, well, let me check, see if it's a street tree or not. Sure enough, it's a street tree.
Yeah, because you had asked me about it too, and I drove by and went, oh, yeah, I can't get that. It's too
It's
big.
big.
It's too big. That was
I'll
a
see
big
what I can
tree.
do.
That,
Yeah.
when it was a tree, it was a big tree.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So,
So anyways, that's all.
is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Dan, you got anything?
I do not.
Jeff, do you have anything else?
No.
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second your motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?